Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Mai, and in this week's video, we are going to be building this gorgeous little Tudor style castle with stables and a pond and a farm and probably just the most gorgeous grounds that I have ever landscaped in my life. And kicking off this speed build, we are going to be starting off with the exterior of the stables. I decided not to include the terrain editing or the building of the main shell, or like the shell of the main house, mostly because it was tedious and also because this video is like already 30 minutes long and it just didn't seem necessary. Of course, if you are interested in watching me do terrain editing, let me know because I will definitely be doing it more often, and if that's something that you're interested in seeing, then I will totally include it. I know that I'm not very good at terrain editing, so watching other simmers do it is definitely helpful. And if I can help you, then I am all for it. So just leave a comment and I'll see what I can do in the next one. But anyways, we are also adding kind of like this little like outdoor stable alongside the main stable. This is something that I've seen in a lot of the inspiration photos, and I thought it would be really interesting to add it here. Just because, yeah, it just adds a little bit more to look at than just like the blocky, bland stable. And I think it ends up looking really nice. The only thing that makes me uncomfortable is like the height of it. I would have liked it to be a little bit shorter, but, you know, we are very limited with the wall heights in The Sims. It's not too flexible. So as the quote goes, give me the strength to accept the things that I can't change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I think that's how it goes. I think that quote is probably used more in my Sims building than in any other aspect of my life. But yeah, we are also trying to fit in some fences here. I really didn't want it to feel too fenced in. I didn't want it to just be like one big fence going all around. I wanted it to look just a little bit more interesting, not too like, I don't know, not too just like simple, and I didn't want it to feel lazy, I didn't want it to feel forced, so I did my best to use most of like, I tried to like block it off with landscaping, if that makes sense, kind of like with the big pond and just with like a lot of greenery. And I think in the end it really worked out. I don't know if your livestock can get out through the greenery, so if they can, definitely change it, fence it all in, because that would kind of suck. And yeah, I think it still looked good. We are also just finishing some of the roofing on the main house, just for the little like indents that I added, or I guess they wouldn't be indents, they would be like out dents. And also doing the wallpaper on the main house, so this way you can actually see it. And this is probably one of my favorite things to do, is to use the multiple swatches that are available in the castle kit and create kind of this dimension of like the bottom being cleaner and the top being dirtier. I kind of wish that they would do this with like more of the like brick swatches or stone swatches that we have available, because I think it would look really cool. And yeah, since it is a Tudor style, I used this also like paneling from the Get Together, for the Get Together expansion pack, just to do like the top part, and I think it looks amazing. I don't know how historically accurate all of this is. I don't even know what part of history or what part of the world all of this is in, but I think in this one I definitely wanted to do more functionality than historical accuracy. So yeah, I don't know, I just wanted it to actually be a usable build. And you can see that I kind of made a stone moat. I ended up changing that after I started editing the video. I realized why it just wasn't feeling right for me, and I ended up switching it to wood, just to kind of match that bridge that's on the left. And yeah, I think just a wooden moat makes way more sense, and I think it ends up looking just way, I don't know, it just looks way better. And for the windows on this build, I used the castle kit ones for most of the like stone parts of the house, as well as there's this one window from Get Together that has like stone on the outside and kind of like wiring You'll see it later, but I also use that one in quite a few places. I also use a lot of windows from Cottage Living. I think this bay window is from Cottage Living, and it matches everything perfectly. I really, really love it. Here in the stable, I end up using this archway from Jungle Adventure as just like the main entry, and I think it looks really good. I don't mind that it's not like the tallest height, but it still looks amazing. And we are starting off furnishing the kitchen. I didn't include picking out wallpapers and floors. That also took me a really long time to do and was just not interesting to watch, so I kept that out. But yeah, starting off in the kitchen, it turned out looking really cool. Again, I don't know how historically accurate. If anything, it's at least very brown. Something that I also think I see a lot is just the appliances kind of being far away from each other. So yeah, like the placement of the appliances just never makes sense when I see houses from back in the day. So I decided to make the appliance positions make no sense. I also included that little fireplace, which I think is from Horse Ranch. I also used a lot of Horse Ranch, and I think that makes it look just that much more realistic. I did put a lot of fireplaces in this build. I think every room has one, and I think the one from Horse Ranch is probably my favorite. And I kind of do wish that it could be functional as an oven, because it really just looks like a little oven, and I don't know, I think it would be a really cute function to add at some point in like some refresh or some update. I think it would be like way more usable in different spaces. And here we are working now on the dining room. This is another one that I just kept very simple. Or I guess not another one that I kept simple. This is just a room that I kept very simple. I think I kept a lot of the rooms actually simple. That's probably why I thought to say another one, because I don't think that the people that live here would be very cluttered. I don't think that they're very that they're like nobles or something. They're not like in high society or anything like that. I think they're just successful in whatever they do. I don't know if maybe they breed horses and that's why they have the stable, or if they make money off of their little farm. I really don't know what it is that makes them have enough money to have this giant lot, but either way, I think it looks nice. And here in the living room, this one was a little bit hard. I was really confused with how I wanted it to look. I think it was a little bit difficult to, I don't know, with the placement of the fireplace, I didn't know the orientation that I wanted the couches, and I wanted to add like something more to do, so I needed to kind of like, I don't know, the couches were taking up a lot of space and there was literally nothing to do in here. I thought about adding that piano, but it just took up way too much space, and I know that we shouldn't be complaining about the size of the pianos because at least we got the standing piano, but yeah, maybe a little like one tile piano would be kind of cool to add, like a little piano forte. Also, at the beginning, I added this like games table from Get Together, but I switch it to a chess table in post-production. And I also add this little bookcase here, because without it, there's literally nothing else to do in that room except play chess and stare at the wall, which I imagine is probably a very common pastime from this era, which kind of sucks, but I'd take that over TikTok any day. But we are in the study here, and I'm going to apologize for any scratching that you hear in the background. I have a couple of cats, and even though they're incredibly spoiled, they will always be asking for more attention, because I don't know if you've ever dealt with a cat, but they're great negotiators. But yeah, the study's pretty simple. I just put a little fireplace, a little desk, and a couch, and a lot of bookshelves. Yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't imagine that they're like high society nobles, so I think it's just like a place to deal with the finances that they have. And yeah, God, curtains were a little hard to do for this one. The windows were a little bit odd, so I don't know why it was so hard to do. I mean, curtains are always difficult for me, but glad I figured it out. Anyways, here on the outside, I've added a little laundry place. I've added like a bucket with like just the bucket for washing, and a clothing line. So it's actually a little bit functional. And I also put in, here's the little garden, the little farm. So I don't know if these people would be farmers when they only have like 6 dirt plots, little dirt patches. But I don't know, it just looked cute. Anyways, the entryway, there was that little like L-shaped space, which I thought maybe I could put like a shelf in there or make it a little water closet. But I didn't like it, so I just blocked it off and we're gonna pretend like it's not there. But we have moved on to the upstairs, and the very first bedroom we're doing upstairs is the nursery. And I did fidget a lot with it. I did not know the layout that I wanted. On video, it'll look like it happened really quickly, that I figured it out so quickly. But gosh, I did not. I was fidgeting with this for a very long time. I moved around everything in this room at least twice, and I really wanted to make that rug work, but the colors just weren't it. So I ended up switching it to this one from Cottage Living, and I think it looks really cute. And yeah, I think I just put like a little, I put in a change table. I put in the, what do you call it? The little like heirloom, this one, the toy box. I think it looks really cute. I put that in here. I feel like I put one thing for each life stage for children, but none of them actually match up, because there's like the newborn bassinet, which is gonna last you 3 days. Then I end up putting a changing table here and that toy box, and it's like, no life stage is going to use all 3 at the same time. So, but anyways, it is aesthetically pleasing, and humans love doing things for aesthetic, as I learned in a previous video. One of the comments was really cool. Anyways, we are working on the second kid's bedroom. For this one, I made it for 2 kids. I imagine like a child and a teen. I imagine that the teen like falls in love with the ranch hand as well. That was a storyline that I was thinking about when I was building this, is like, maybe in a household you have like the ranch hand in the household, because I know that in the horse ranch you kind of just hire them kind of like a maid, but I really thought it would be cool to have the ranch hand living on the lot, which is why you'll see I make like a little apartment for them above the stable. And you can blame it on me loving Princess Bride, but I thought of like the teenager, like the older teenager kind of falling in love with the ranch hand, and they like sneak off together and they hide, I don't know, they like meet by the pond, or I don't know, they go into town together or whatever. But yeah, that's why I thought this would be cool for like a child and a teen. And this is probably like the most functional room in the house, because it has the easel, it's got the bookshelf, it's got a desk, it's got that crochet, what do you call it? Just like a crochet box. Yeah, so there's just like a lot to do in here, and I really like it. I don't know if like it's too big, because it looks like it might even be bigger than the parents' room. But I don't know, since there's 2 kids in there, I thought it would be fine. And this is the parents' room. I wasn't really sure what bed to use, and I end up landing on this one from Base Game. And unfortunately, this one kind of gives your Sims the uncomfortable moodlet because it's cheap, which really sucks, but it does look really good, and I really like the style, and I always want to use it in more builds, but I always get discouraged because of the like cheap moodlet. But I think if you upgrade it, it should be fine. Or you can just suffer through the cheap moodlet and they can just deal with it. They're not even real. So yeah, I also put in a couple of chairs looking at the fireplace, and I struggled a lot with the rug placement. I end up landing on this one just for now, but later in post-production I switch it to, I think, a Cottage Living one. The one with the roses, but it's also brown. But yeah, I really wanted something red to like tie in the color of the bed, but it was, I don't know, it's hard. I miss the color wheel from Sims 3. That was the best. Or at least like the different swatch, like you could pick the different parts of the bed that you wanted to change the swatch of from Sims 2. That was also amazing. Oh, I love that. Oh yeah, and there in the corner I also make like a little dressing area. I put the vanity, I put like a dresser and the big mirror, and I think in the corner, yeah, I think just a little end table with flowers. And I chose that brown, like that kind of like reddish brown, because I think it looked like the wood that you can see under the chipped paint on the dresser was kind of like that same brown. So I thought maybe they were made with the same wood, but then only one of them got painted. But yeah, and then I also put in just a little painting above the bed, And yeah, the parents' room's really simple. There's really not much to it. I just don't imagine that they spend a lot of time in here. I imagine that they're like working the field, the grounds, the stables, whatever it is that people did back in the day. And this bathroom, I love this bathroom. I don't know if it's characteristic of this time, if like they had bathrooms like this or bathrooms at all, but I just love the way that this looked. I really wanted the house to be functional, so a bathroom was necessary, and I think the way that I designed it made it almost look like it should be there. And probably my favorite part of it is the bathtub and fireplace combo. So the fireplace from Horse Ranch has that kettle on top of it, and I really wanted it to be next to the bathtub because I imagined that they would like warm up the water in the kettle and then pour it into the bathtub to wash themselves. And yeah, I also put in this divider that I imagine that they move around, but right now I have it just next to the toilet because that's where it fit. The toilet, I would really wanted to use the one from Vampires, but they didn't have the right swatch, so I ended up using that one from Base Game, which looks a little wooden, so I thought it would match the other items in the bathroom. But yeah, I never thought I'd say that the bathroom is like one of my favorite rooms in the house, but here we are. There's, you know, always room to try new things, say something new. But anyways, we are back outside working on some terrain paint and yeah, just moving ahead with a lot of the landscaping. I later on add some like rocks to either like the outside, kind of like on the edge, and also size some up to put kind of like in the middle of the river, sorry, not river, of the pond as well, to just make it look more like it blends into its surroundings so that it's not just some like flat water feature. So yeah, we're doing some heavy terrain paint here. I wanted to like really show almost like some pleasure paths. So I don't know, maybe the path isn't there naturally, but it just kind of like ended up there because of the way that they would walk back and forth. But yeah, I just use like, I think it's called like Pebbles Please, to kind of create like that rocky texture. And God, there was so much like empty green space that I really didn't know what to do with it. Anyway, I moved past it and just kind of start here on the stable. I used those seats from, I think the Horse Ranch, it's just like hay bale seats, and it really helped that like little corner blend into the rest of the space because it didn't really have a function. So yeah, I just made it look like they shoved some things back there, and I'm just looking through like everything from Horse Ranch because I knew that there were going to be some useful items in there. Most of this like floor is really decorative though, not gonna lie. It just has a bunch of hay, and I think the only useful item in it is that big horse bed. But yeah, I think it still looks good like aesthetically. And up here is the little apartment that I make for the like ranch hand. And I used that bed from Horse Ranch, and I just kind of shoved the headboard into the wall because I felt like it was a little bit too fancy for a ranch hand in whatever time period I'm building in. But I think it ends up looking like way better. And I'm not gonna lie, this apartment isn't actually fully functional because all it has is like a bed and this bathtub, and then I don't give it like a full kitchen or any other like bathroom items. I end up just like putting in that fireplace that I really love that I wish you could cook with, because it just felt like more, I don't know, it felt like it was more realistic that way. Obviously not functional, so the sim that lives in here will have to use the kitchen from the main house, or you can just let them starve. You can put someone you hate in here and let them starve in here. But I don't know, it still looks good. I think my principles on whether something should be for aesthetic or functionality really go back and forth depending on the room. I don't know if you're the same way, let me know. But yeah, besides the bed, this apartment is more for show, but it does also have a little guitar, a little like banjo thing, so that could be fun. And anyways, I feel like the ranch hand should mostly be like working outside, so they shouldn't even have time to go to the bathroom. But I also like this little rug layering situation that I added. I think it looks cool. I think it makes it look, I don't know, just like they tried to make it a little bit warmer and inviting, but obviously they failed. But yeah, we're also doing like more of the landscaping now. It was like a very big landscaping job, so I do go like, you know, in and out of that, because I was getting like overwhelmed and I'd be like, okay, now I don't know what to do anymore. So yeah, that changes quite a bit, just like the back and forth of it. And yeah, I was just trying to fill in, like I said, this empty green space. I add some of the prairie grass, which is from horse ranch, and I don't know if that like regenerates after your like animals eat it or not, but I hope it does, because I really like the placement of it. So I don't know, or just like don't let your animals eat it so that it stays there and it looks pretty. But yeah, I'm just filling in the pond now with all of the little like items that you can put in it, like the ducks and the dragonflies and all that fun stuff. I think it's such a cool little touch that they added to the pond situation. And I also put in these, like, I think they're called like not grass or something, and that also completes the look of the pond, makes it look a little bit more natural, a little bit more part of the world. Didn't mean to reference The Little Mermaid there, but I think it called for it. And here you can really tell that I'm using my like trick for landscaping, which is where I just like pick 3 items and just repeat it all over the lot. So yeah, just more tedious things. I just do feel like landscaping is a tedious act to do in The Sims. So yeah, it's probably just because I don't like it. I'm sure that there's like some really good simmers, like some simmers that are really good at landscaping, who actually love it. And if that's you, please let me know and please teach me, because I would love you forever. But yeah, I was just doing my best to kind of make all of the landscaping like blend into the area, blend into the world, and just like look natural, not too like manicured, but still be pleasing to the eye. You can see me trying that with this space. I was so like, I don't know, like just so stumped with this space. That was a tree joke. That was funny. Definitely not on purpose, but still funny. And anyways, I end up just like putting these bushes here on the side, and just putting the low-lying yellow flowers. I think they're called low-lying pale yellow flowers. I've used it so much I've like memorized the name. But yeah, I like putting that pretty much everywhere because it makes things look a little bit more overgrown. And here is where I find the barrels, and I realized that they would be just perfect, like a perfect addition for functionality and also just for looks in this space. So I decide I cut back here on the like tiles in front of the stable, and I just try to make this fit in, because I feel like the barrels make it look still like safe for this time period, but also, I don't know, it just looks nice. I don't really know what else to say about it. It just turned out perfectly and gave this space actual functionality and not just like a space for a bland tree. So I am glad that I made it work, even though I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit skeptical. So yeah, just filling in the area with some more terrain paint and some more like rocks and stuff, and yeah, I see, you can see me using the pale yellow flowers again. That I put them everywhere. It's like the hot sauce, the like, what's it called, the Frank's Red Hot ad. It says I put that shit on everything. That's me with these pale yellow, the low-lying pale yellow flowers. It's everywhere. It's like, I don't know, it's just so easy to use, and it transforms any little space. I think we need more things that look like that so that I'm not constantly using the same thing and annoying everybody with it. But yeah, we are finally in the screenshots, folks, and oh my goodness, I love the way that this all turned out. Here you can see a lot of the rocks that I said that I added and all the little extra things that I always put in post-production. For example, that little like log pile that I think is from Get Together, I put it next to the trough or next to the entrance to the stables. There you can see I also added like some window boxes, which I don't think I included in the video. And there you could see the windows that I talked about that have kind of like the stone and the wire, and got the views. I took the screenshots during like the evening light, and yeah, I think it just ended up looking so nice. Maybe a little bit dark, but really like serene and pleasing to the eye. I just love it. And I also added some buckets around because I feel like if you have a farm, you're gonna need buckets for stuff. I wish they were functional, that would be fun. And here is the little like ranch hands apartment. I had actually forgotten to take the screenshots for this space, and then when I was editing the screenshots together, I realized and I had to go back. But yeah, this one also, even though it's so simple, turned out really nice. And here you can have a little close-up of like the way that I changed the moat. And the entryway, there you can see the portrait with some flowers that I put, just to kind of invite people in. Maybe that's like the head of the household here. And here's the study. I didn't change this at all, I think, except for that little like photo that I put above the desk. And there you can see I changed the games table into the chess table, and I also added a little stereo. I think that's the one from Horse Ranch, and just to add a little bit more of functionality and activities into this room. I think it ended up looking really nice. And the dining room, very simple. I really don't think that people do anything in here except eat and maybe sit at that like little armchair next to the fire and knit, possibly. I don't know what else you could do in this time. And here's the kitchen, same as it was before, just with heaps more clutter. I think it ended up looking really nice. I cluttered it a lot, but I don't think I cluttered it too much. Oh my gosh, I totally lost my words there. And we are upstairs now, starting off with the bathroom. I think it turned out so nice, even considering that it shouldn't be here historically maybe, but I think it would still be like a really nice place to lie down and have a bath and just like relax. And the nursery, which is so much more than a nursery, for 3 life stages, none of which overlap. You'd very quickly have to change that bassinet, but it still looks cute. Like I said, functionality versus aesthetics, it's never consistent with me. And yeah, the bedroom, kept it simple, kept it, I don't think I changed much in post-production. I do like the colors in this. It's very warm and just nice to look at. And here's the master bedroom, the primary bedroom. I really don't know what prompted me to make all the bedrooms so red, especially because red is not a color that I use very often. But I think this is the last space that we are going to be seeing. Gosh, I really love the way that this build turned out. And there you can see the facade with the wishing well. Oh, it's so cute. Anyways, bye buds, and thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Comment and share with your friends. I'll talk to you soon. Bye!